Hello everybody. Today is a new lecture. We are going to start with a new reading lesson, which is Susie's Secret. First of all, in this unit, we are going to introduce the big topic orally along, introduce the new theme, introduce the vocabulary words through context clues, read the words aloud and correctly, practice vocabulary sheet, identify the point of view, and identify the genre of the text. First of all, we are going to start with the vocabulary words. As we always do, we usually look at the picture and then read the sentence and try to guess the meaning through context. Let's look at the first picture. You can see a girl trying to look over a wall to see something. So this is a benefit of being tall. So one benefit of being tall is that you can see over high walls. What is a benefit of studying hard? So benefit is something good which happens due to something else. Let's look at the second picture. We can see that the boy is playing with an apple or a ball. The juggler deftly kept the apples in the air for several minutes. The juggler deftly, maybe it means talently, maybe having a certain talent. Derision. When the team played badly, fans reacted with derision. It means they reacted with bad manners or in a rude way. Eaves. The birds built a nest under the eaves of our roof. As you can see in the picture, these are the eaves. Number 5. Expertise. The carpenter's expertise could be seen in the fine detailing. Expertise means the talent or the good way he works in. Impudence, laughing at someone shows a lot of impudence, means shows a lot of impoliteness. Legacy. My grandmother's scrapbooks preserve legacy of family memories. How else might a legacy be preserved? So when someone dies and leaves you money or certain real estate or something, this is called a legacy. Symmetry. The butterfly's wings show beautiful symmetry, a beautiful scene, a beautiful view, a beautiful colors maybe. So let's now check what are the meanings of the words in details. So, benefit is an advantage of something, deftly, done in a skillful, quick, and clever way. Derision, ridicule, or lack of respect. Eaves, the lower overhanging edges of a roof. Expertise, mastered a skill. Impudence, behavior that is rude, bold, or disrespectful. Legacy, something handed down from the past. And symmetry, beauty and balance in shape and appearance. Complete each sentence with a suitable word from the vocabulary bank. We stood under to keep dry. We stood under what? We stood under the eaves. Very good. So of the roof, these borders of the roof. The mean girls laughed with derision in a rude way at the other team. Sticking out your tongue shows impudence. It shows impoliteness. The design showed perfect symmetry. It means a perfect colors or shape or appearance. She changed the flat tire. She deftly, in a skillful way, changed the flat tire. Use each word in a sentence. Let's see. I used deftly. Bill tossed Carmen's supply package to Alex, who deftly caught. I would not recommend quickly chopping vegetables unless you have expertise with a knife. It means if you have expertise means in a talented or skillful way. Ignorance is the mother of impudence. So impudence means, as we said, in a rude or a bold face. So ignorance is the mother of impudence. When you ignore someone, it means you are causing him to show you this rude and bold treatment. Let's now start with the comprehension skill. Point of view. What you need to know. What is a point of view? The point of view in a work of literature is determined by the narrator, that is the person telling the story. This narrator may be the author or a character in the story, book, play, or poem. So the point of view is determined by the narrator. Sometimes the narrator is an author who is telling the story, and sometimes the narrator is a character in the story. And here is the difference between the point of views. So it differs if the author is, if the narrator is the author and if the narrator is a character in the story. Let's see. First person. So we have two kinds of the point of view, first and third point of view. If the narrator is a character in the story, this is the first person point of view. So how do you recognize this? You recognize this when the narrator says I. He uses the pronoun I. This shows that he is a character in the story. This is similar to hearing a person tell you about what happened to them personally or what they saw happen first. Third person. Third person, if the author or narrator is telling the story, this is known as third person. So the narrator here is not a character in the story, he is just the author. What are some pronouns that will show you third person point of view? He, she, they, and them. These are some pronouns that show you that the story is told from the third person point of view. So we have two types of the point of view, first and third. If the author, if the narrator is a character in the story and he is using the pronoun I, it means it's the first person point of view. And the third person point of view means if the author is if the narrator is not a character in the story, he is just an author, it means the story is being told from the third person point of view. Now let's start with the genre of the text. Today we are going to move to a new genre, which is historical fiction. In this story, Susie's Secret, we are going to read a historical story in which we are talking about a story which happened a very long time ago. What does this kind of genres include? This kind of genres include flashbacks. It means images from the very long time ago, and of course a dialogue. Okay, you might find a dialogue which might be imagined through the author or by the author, and of course it contains flashbacks to tell us more about the character's past. Now this is the story. As you can see, this is Susie's Secret. And first of all, as usual, we start with the essential question. What influences the development of a culture? It means what affects the development of a culture. A culture means a certain country's, let's say, their beliefs and so on. This is what makes a culture. Their food, the dresses, their dressings, and so on. So what influences or what affects the development of a culture? This question is going to be answered by you during the live sessions. Let's start. Of course, we're not going to read the whole text. We're going to read it in the session and explain it word by word. But now we are going to move on fast, just to give you a general idea about the text. Beautiful textiles had great value in the Inca, whose empire arose in what is now Peru. This year, the year 1430, and 11-year-old Susie is an Incan girl, it means from Inca, with a special talent of weaving. Although few girls were allowed to receive an education in Inca society, Susie dreams of going to school. So this story, the whole story, is telling us about a girl who had a talent in weaving textiles. Textiles هن القماش. Okay? So She had a talent in weaving textiles, and of course few girls in that time were allowed to go to school, so Susie had a dream of going to school. A family tradition, of course, weaving was one of her family traditions, and she started working with her family, and then Susie suddenly makes something special and invents something special related to weaving. We are going to discover this during the live session. Now we are going to move to the subtitle, Much to Learn. Of course, Susie went to school and she believes that every time a person learns something new, he's going to discover new things. So she thinks that learning has no age. She wants to learn more and more. Okay, this is the whole story of Susie, a girl who was talented in weaving, and she started working. She went to school, although her family traditions are against this. And during the live sessions, of course, we are going to discover more what happened with her.